The House will be on the 11th order of business. The House has before it House Bill 1102, which has been read. Mr. Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 1182, introduced by Representative Louser and other House and Senate sponsors. House Bill 1182 is a bill for an act to amend and reenact Section 57-38-30.3 of the North Dakota Century Code relating to suspension of income tax for individuals, estates, and trusts, and to provide an effective date and to provide an expiration date. Mr. Speaker, this is a fiscal note prepared by the Office of the Tax Commissioner on January 16, 2013. Their analysis indicates that this bill would be a reduction in general fund revenue of $1,031,000 for the 2013-2015 biennium. Mr. Speaker, your Finance and Taxation Committee recommends a do not pass on House Bill 1182 by a vote of 14 yeas, 0 nays, 0 absent, and 0 not voting. Mr. Speaker.
Representative Doctor.
Mr. Speaker and members of the Assembly, your Committee on Finance and Taxation recommends a do not pass with a vote of 14-0 on House Bill 1182. The bill's intention is to suspend income tax for individuals, estates, and trusts for the next biennium. The problem with completely eliminating tax for 2 years is temporary tax relief. There are other bills this session that will reduce state income taxes and can be sustained in the future. The need is to pass legislation that could be sustainable and not temporary. The Finance and Taxation Committee, on a vote of 14-0, asks the Assembly for a do not pass. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any discussion on House Bill 1182? Representative Louser.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members of the Assembly. I appreciate the difficult work the Finance and Tax Committee has considering all the tax proposals before them, but I speak in favor of this bill. As I said in testimony, this bill is big, it's bold, and it's aggressive, but yet it's responsible. It suspends a tax that after 2 years could prove to this Assembly that it may not be necessary to meet the needs of this state. I'm able to report that I've had two basic types of responses from people and citizens in our state. The first is, it's great, it's about time, get it passed. The other one is a little bit tempered down, it's okay, should be permanent, or it should have included corporate income tax as well. The question I often hear when arguing for change are the following: if not us, who? And if not now, when? Actually, I found the answer to if not us, who. There are 9 states that do not currently have a personal income tax, including Florida, Tennessee, and Texas. Nebraska and Louisiana are proposing to eliminate this session. The Wall Street Journal reported on January 30th of this year, only 12 days ago, quote, states with big energy production like Louisiana and Oklahoma also have another reform option: replacing the income tax with revenues from oil and gas extraction taxes, drilling leases, and royalty payments. This kind of reform makes everyone in the state a stakeholder in America's energy renaissance, from horizontal drilling and hydraulic fracturing. Further, the Wall Street Journal says North Dakota, which last year became the second largest oil-producing state behind Texas, could easily afford to abolish its income tax, much like Alaska did in 1980. Many more states could collect billions of dollars in energy-related revenue if they and the feds allowed more drilling on state and federal lands and offshore. Those are the answers to if not us, who. The answer to the question I'm still looking for is if not now, when. Ladies and gentlemen of the Assembly, it's still early in the session to eliminate a good concept. Let's give the Senate and potentially a conference committee the opportunity to consider this idea and others like it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the House has it before it for final consideration. House Bill 1182. The clerk will open the key and you may record your vote. Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change their vote? The key will be closed and the clerk will take the record. Final vote shows 23 yeas, 63 nay, 8 absent and not voting. House Bill 1182 is declared failed. Continuing on the